I'm sorry, everyone. I've been, people keep on calling my house. So every time the phone rings, I turn off the radio and do the episode. Well, I won't do that anymore. If I stop, I get called. I will continue the episode in another place. Anyways, quick rundown again. Toronto out for the season. Didn't have the pitching, had the hitting though to keep afloat. Baltimore definitely had the hitting, didn't have the pitching. The Yankees had the hitting, pitching didn't show up in the first half of the year. They'll be fine if they can actually play some kind of defense. If they can play some kind of, if they play well on the pitching, they'll make the playoffs, and their hitting is good too. The Rays, good hitting team, good pitching team, still inexperienced. Boston, great pitching, like good pitching, great hitting. Uh, White Sox, I was talking about it. They are they have pitched their pitching's okay, I guess, and their hitting's not that great either. Minnesota, what can you say about the Twins? Bad hitting. All four major offensive categories: runs, batting average, on base percentage, slugging percentage, rank in the 20s. Pitching, not good either. It's amazing that this team can actually play games, can actually have. Okay, the question is here. It's amazing this team's not going to lose 100 games this season. They no longer have Justin Morneau, or they don't have Justin Morneau anymore. The only name I really know is Josh Willingham, and I would not call him a beast by any word of the imagination. He is not a beast. I'll tell you who is a beast. Brian Dozier. He's got a lot of people's eyes, and he's pretty good. Who's injured on this team? Joe Mauer. Joe Mauer is just, doesn't it seem like he's always hurt? He has a concussion. It seems like it's really bad how all these players keep on getting concussions, but I don't know. Mauer has played his whole entire career with the Twins. His breakout year was 2009, and he hasn't really seen the light ever since. 2008, 2009, he was good. His numbers have declined. In 2012, he saw himself going back to the high number RBIs, but I don't know if it's going to look like that this year, unless he can produce some serious numbers. But Mauer, if I were the Twins, trade him. There's other teams that need a catcher, and Mauer could be definite trade bait. So how is the pitching for the Twins, you ask? Is there any future to this team? No. No. Kevin Correa. Correa? I don't know. I don't know his last name, but he's yeah, 33-year-old ace of the staff. He's been bouncing around teams. He used to be in the Giants. I spent 2 years down in San Diego. Was with the Pirates. Then now he's with the Twins. What can you do? He's their best pitcher. So yep, that happens. Have fun not winning games. Yeah, that's fun. That's always fun, right? Anyways, yeah, the Twins are just getting. I don't know how they're not gonna lose 100 games this year. Anyways, Kansas City, their hitting's okay. Their pitching's pretty good. Just not the combination does not work. I won't go into it that much. They have a great young team. I appreciate it, but James Shields, Irvin Santana, Jeremy Griffey. Girthy, I don't know how to say his last name, my bad. Wade Davis is okay, I guess. Wouldn't call it great. And Bruce Chen, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. He's okay, I guess. Bruce Chen is decent, but the pitching's okay. The hitting, it's not playoff caliber. I'm sorry. I hate to be the bad guy, but their hitting, their offense is not going to help them by any stretch of the imagination. I don't see them surviving a playoff series with a team like the Sox or the, God forbid, the Tigers. With Verlander, Scherzer, and like Sanchez or someone on the mound, that'd be scary. That'd be scary. I'd be worried if I was the team. And okay, so you can challenge me by saying, okay, let's see how Kansas City has done against playoff teams. 5-2 against the Red Sox. They are 7-6 against the Tigers. They are 1-5 against the Rangers, and they are 1-2 against the Tigers. The one that surprises me is the Red Sox. How did they do so well against the Red Sox? And how do they own a winning record against Detroit? Maybe I was wrong. Maybe they are built for the playoffs. But maybe they won't see the light of the playoffs. They're 10 games back in the Central, and they are 7 games back in the wild card. So it's gonna take a lot of winning for them to come back. What I should say. Cleveland rocks. Cleveland rocks. Cleveland. The final frontier. Cleveland sitting 7.5 back in the Central right now. They have hitting. Definitely have hitting. The pitching's not that great. It's not playoff caliber pitching, but yeah, the offense, sometimes you can just carry you into the playoffs. Cleveland is 4.5 back. They're gonna have to really fight if they really want to make it or break it. I mean, there could be a lot of holes with this team, but there really isn't. They have a lot of decent guys playing for them. So I don't really know how stable the rotation is. I mean, Masterson has been pretty good this year. He's helped that organization out a lot. But Ubaldo Jimenez has had what some might call a comeback year. I dare to say a comeback year. He is trying. Can we just say that? Can that be a phrase we use? He's trying his best. His 2012 campaign was painful, to say the least. So, yeah, let's play that game. Ubaldo, not good. Not great. I mean, they have Ubaldo, and it's always funny for me to see another washed-up pitcher like Scott Kazmir be in the lineup. Be in the rotation. Scott's had a rough time trying to get his command back, but he's been able to notch a few wins in his last few starts. So I feel good. I feel good for him. But moving on. Detroit, offensive juggernaut. They lead the league in every single major. No, by major I mean, let's remind runs. Let's remind you guys. Runs, batting average, on base percentage, slugging percentage. Every single category of those 4 categories, they are first. Dare I press pitching? I dare. Pitching, they're okay pitching. They have a pretty good team. They've got Verlander, Swartzer, Pfister, Sanchez, and Porcello. Now, Verlander and Swartzer, let's go over them first. Verlander is not his normal self. He's lost 4 straight starts, but he's only gotten the loss 2 times. He's only got the decision 2 times. So Verlander is starting to look a lot more human now. He used to be unhittable. This is his first season since 2008 that he's lost more than 10 games, or at least 10 games. His 2011 campaign was unbelievable, to say the least. But he's something else. Matt Swartzer, 29-year-old that looks like a 35-year-old guy. Played on Arizona for 2 years. Came to the Tigers. Kind of pitched behind Verlander and has really come out as someone who could really help out your team. He's 19-1, so he's been a favorite to watch. And he's I don't know if you would really call him an ace per se, but he gets fabulous run support, so that's why he wins games. Doug Pfister, young guy, 29 years old. I don't know if to call him young, but another one of those guys came to the Tigers. Was pretty much lights out in 2011 when he came to the Tigers from Seattle, going 8-1. He's kind of been behind. He's been a sometimes win for the Tigers, and just put him on the mound, see how it goes. Then you have Anibal Sanchez, which is kind of like the Dodgers' fourth starter. Came from Florida. Anibal, he's done decent enough to earn his place on the team. Is Rick Porcello a liable factor? No, absolutely not. He's good. Been with the team for a while. He showed some promise. So I think that they have one of the best pitching staffs in the league, in the sport per se. But we'll see how that happens. We'll see how that turns out in the playoffs. Houston, there's not much to be said about that. They're scraping the bottom of the barrel, but they're developing some young talent against some major league teams. That could be really good if that minor league talent develops. That's not even a joke. Seattle, they're trying to battle for a 3rd place spot. We'll see how that plays out. I can't say they're going to be great, but if I can talk about Seattle real quick, I think they have a huge chance to have a very good 1-2-3 1-2-3 combination on the team. Here's why. Luis Hernandez is only 27 years old. Say he has 3 years left in him. He's decent. He's great. He can play ball. Felix Hernandez has I have to say his name. Hisashi Ikuhuma is pretty good too. If I butchered his name, I'm sorry. And Taiwan Walker, those three guys. If Taiwan Walker does develop and is actually a good player, that could be three guys that can help launch Seattle in front of the A's or even the Angels. Seattle doesn't have the hitting for it. I wouldn't give them anything in terms of hitting. They can score runs when they want. I mean, most of their home runs are coming from Raul Ibanez, which isn't bad, but I mean, he's not going to be around for that much longer. Uh, there needs to be more production from this team. Jason Bay, surprisingly, isn't having the worst season of his life, so something to look out for. But Seattle, they get some more hitting, they develop more, could become a playoff team in the future. I'm not saying anytime soon, I'm saying in the future. The Angels, I'm not even going to talk about them because I've already talked about the Angels enough as a person. But the Angels aren't a very great team by any by any stretch of the imagination. They haven't been good. The ownership is to blame. They have an offense, definitely have an offense, but when healthy, that offense is pretty dangerous. But the pitching is extremely horrible. It's extra bad. But I mean, after Weaver and Wilson, you lose those games. If Weaver, okay, Weaver has not been the same. You can say, oh yeah, Weaver is dominant still. Weaver has been super streaky this season. He's won his last two, but before that he lost his two before that. I mean, the Yankees made a fool of him. That game where he lost 11-3, they made a fool of him in that game. He is really trying, but I mean, we'll just see what happens, honestly, because I don't really see him as the guy. I mean, he's ace for the Angels, definitely an ace for the Angels. Last year, extremely good, 20-5 last season. The season before that, 18-8. I've always seen this guy as a guy who's pretty much the heart of the Angels. He's the franchise player for the Angels right now on that team. When you think of Jerry Reaver, you think Angels. C.J. Wilson's working his butt off every night for that team. And Wilson and Weaver did not deserve this. Give Jason Vargas, who's decent. Joe Blanton was the worst signing the Angels could have done this season. That was the dumbest thing they've ever done. Was there any thinking put into that? I don't think there was. There was no thinking. I'm guarantee it. Why would you sign Joe Blanton? If I can diverge for a second from what I was talking about before about other teams, I want to talk about Joe Blanton really quickly. Just real quickly. Because he might have single-handedly destroyed any chance the Angels had at being a decent team this season. He's 2-14. So let's say June. April. Doesn't want to start in April at all. And each start gives up at least 3 runs. And 3 of these games are 1-run games. So he gives up just enough runs for them to lose. He gives up 7 runs in the month of April. Moving on, the month of May faces the Dodgers. Okay. He loses 3 games. He's 0-7. He pitches a poopy performance and then has a good performance against the Kansas City Royals. So they're starting to think, okay, he's got his stride back. Only gives up 3 runs against the Dodgers. So they'll be like, oh, we can take that. But he goes on to lose 4 more starts, getting the decision for 2 of those, and he faces Houston, and people are thinking, oh wow, he only allowed 2 runs against Houston, he's back. Back to that, he gets up 5 runs to St. Louis, 4 earned, but thank the Lord that somehow the Angels win this game thanks to some spot-on relief appearance by Scott Downs and them winning in the bottom of the 9th, scoring 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th. So they barely got by that one. Then Joe Blanton continues to cause pain for the Angels. He starts against the Cubbies, loses that game. Starts against Seattle, gives up 4 runs. You want to know how many runs the Angels lose this one by? 1 run. Minnesota, the Angels lose by 1 run again. At this point, why even start him? Put the rally monkey out there instead of him. So, after losing to Minnesota again, he's out of a starting job. In any game he appears in, they lose. See, he's helping the team lose. Thank the Lord that for the rest of the month of July, he doesn't allow another run. He has a relief appearance in a 5-2 loss against the Rangers in Anaheim, and I think he gets the voluntary round of applause. Then you're gonna get kicked out of this one. Starts helping the Angels unload runs, opening the floodgates. In a relief appearance against the Rangers, he casually gives up 3 runs in Joe Blanton fashion. Okay, and you want to know what the worst part of it is? He allowed a home run. This guy has no threshold for what it means to play baseball. He stinks. Okay? Can I get that out of my system? Can I, please? Because it's going to be in my system all day. He just gives up home runs. He let Adrian Beltre hammer one off of him. Then he gets 6 days of rest. Gets called into the game against the Yankees. Vargas can't get the job done. Blanton gets to pitch the last 2 innings, in which he gives up a total of 6 runs. You want to know what's the funniest part about this? It would have been a one-run game if Joe Blanton didn't give up a run. Instead, he lets Alfonso Soriano drive one to right with a 3-run home run in Joe Blanton style, of course. He lets the same guy hurt him twice. The shortstop, Eduardo Nunez. He stinks. Okay, so he gets 3 days break from this. Okay, August 16th against the Astros. Williams again can't get the job done. What is it with Williams and Blanton being put in together? I don't know. The game is 4-2. Keep it realistic. Just don't give up a home run, Blanton. Just don't do it. A home run? No problem. I give up 2 home runs for you. Gives up 2 home runs in the top of the ninth. Loses the game completely. The Angels had a chance. They had a chance. 4-2. He gives up 2 home runs. 1 3-run shot, and the other one was a solo jack. Then Joe Blanton. I was at this game. I didn't get to see this happen, unfortunately, because I had to leave early. Joe Blanton was the last pitcher that could be called up from the bullpen room. Well, apparently he was the last pitcher. Because apparently the Angels are geniuses in their thinking and only have 6 bullpen relievers. Fine. Joe Blanton says, how can I make this interesting? Oh, wait. I know how. Hoo-hoo. Yes. 2-run shots. I will give to the Indians. Gives up a 2-run shot. And can we just say this? He gives up. He has a throwing error to add insult to injury. To let the Indians win. To score their 4th run. This season alone. And there should be a charity for this. I'm not even joking you. There should be a charity for every home run he gives up. They give $1,000 to a local charity. He's given up 29 home runs this season. He knows. I'm not even gonna say it because I could get banned off the radio station for saying it. But I'm not gonna say it. If you want to hear me say it, if I take requests, I'll say it next show. But he gets destroyed every game. He's a master at giving up home runs. This guy should be the pitcher for the home run derby. I'm sorry, I had to go on a little rant there. Moving on, Athletics, good team. They're an okay hitting team. They're a solid pitching team. No problems there. The Rangers hanging on by a thread. They 2 games. Rangers, great hitting team. The pitching, in my opinion, could be better. But that's just me. I think Matt Garza was a good addition to the team. He's 3-2 right now, but still good addition to the team, I think, my opinion. That's gonna wrap up the show. I'm sorry for ranting for so long, but I'll do the NL one of these days. Maybe Monday, maybe tomorrow. We'll see what happens. For me, for Jason Caroline, this has been National Sports whatever radio. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Oh, by the way, I think my producer Robert Dieters wanted to call into the show. I didn't get the message before. I thought he was just calling me on the show. I thought he was just calling me. I don't know if he's gonna pick up.
Hello?
Hey Robert, you wanted to talk on the show?
Yes, I did.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, I want to talk about the Angels specifically, as you know, you know about Joe Bland that went at a record 2-14, one of the worst signings for the Angels as well. The Angels just they get good talent, but it just doesn't develop for them. Josh Hamilton doesn't do anything. TJ Wilson wasn't bad this year. He's actually pretty good. I liked him this year. And one big buzz too was Dan Herron. I thought he could have been better. But an interesting picture is I would probably, Albert Pujols was also a guy that could have done a lot better this year as well.
Yeah, for sure. The pool master, Albert Pujols, is out for the rest of the season with an injury, but I don't really know what's going to happen when he comes back next season. I'm not sure how Angel fans are going to feel because their team basically has sunken to the bottom of the abyss in terms of how good their team is. I mean, the quality of the team at the beginning of the season looked like it was going to be off the charts, but honestly, this team on paper is better than the Astros, but I feel like the Astros could beat these guys in a 7-game series.
Oh wow, really? Well, Astros are never been a good team whatsoever, and I just don't. I think the Angels just could have had a better season. Probably could have been top dogs in the AL West, but they just couldn't use the talent. And Jason, I gotta go, but thank you for having me on the show.
No problem, man. We'll see you later. In case of you all you fans out there are wondering, the Angels are 7-9 against the Astros this season. So 7-game series. I like my chances. That'll do it. That'll do it for us here on National Sports Radio. This has been Jason Garland on Jason's Sports Show. Quickly, we're gonna advertise our Twitter. It's at National Sports 1, all caps, with the 1. You know what I'm talking about. Facebook National Sports, Instagram National Sports. That's National underline Sports. Also, like Jason's Sports Show on Facebook. October is coming up, so if you're a fan of baseball, buy your tickets soon because your team probably will be in or probably be out. We'll see you guys later. Thank you for joining me on this show.